So I just want to talk really quick about what a displacement map is before we get super crazy into this. So I have 3 heads set up here. One that is just Lambert 1 with nothing done to it. This dude has a displacement map on it, and, I'm sorry, no. This guy has a bump map on it, not a displacement, bump map, and this one has a displacement map on it. So notice that this one, it has some weird, like, sketches and weird triangles here sort of showing up in the viewport. This one has nothing, it's just a Lambert, and this one just looks like a white head. If we look at the render of these heads, though, you will see they're very, very different. So we have the Lambert head again, bump map over here, and then the displacement map on the left. And I've used the exact same file texture for the displacement map as the bump map. The only real difference between the two, and it's a pretty significant difference actually, is the bump map fakes detail into a model. So this is doing like fake shading, basically, to create like, you know, faux dents in a model. This is actually putting the dents in the model. And the reason where you might want to use a displacement map over a normal map, or a bump map, is if you, for some reason, need to, you know, get like really big bumps like this, or horns, large features in the mesh. Because honestly, there's not a huge difference between like the face scrolls. They look maybe a little bit nicer on the displacement map, they look pretty much the same on the bump map. But the horns are very clearly different. So for large, sticky-outy features, I would usually use a displacement map. And I've actually done stuff a little bit, for the sake of example, a little bit over-aggressive, where normally I would, you know, model the horns into the head, or like at least vague lumps for the horns, instead of just having them be mapped on. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it makes, sometimes it can, you know, maybe tweak render times a little bit, to be kind of faster, kind of. Mostly it's good practice just so you know where the head stuff is. You are aware of, you know, where pieces of geometry are, so that you don't accidentally have, you know, your character getting close to a wall and they move their head and it clips through. Because if you had the base sort of horns modeled in, you could see the head clipping through before you rendered it instead of after you already rendered like 300 frames. So that's just sort of something to be aware of. But yeah, so displacement maps is if you need actual deformation in the surface of the model, or if you had to do something where you like really needed to get up close to this character's cheek or something like that, and you would actually see the little, that like sort of little notch that's going to be taken out of the side of the cheek. So in that case, displacement map's going to be way nicer looking than a bump map, but if you're just looking at this from far away, bump map, totally fine. Also good for, you know, maybe some scales or like little horns or something like that, like little nubs in the surface of the mesh that you would sort of see from a profile being changed. That is basically what a displacement map is. The rest of the videos in this monstrosity of a playlist is going to be sort of how to use ZBrush, how to make a displacement map with ZBrush, how to put a displacement map into Arnold, and then I will also show you how to make a displacement map in Mudbox. If you have to choose between ZBrush and Mudbox, I would say ZBrush is overall much more versatile and a better use of your time to learn. Mudbox, however, is a little bit more accessible because it's, you know, free and all that good stuff, but ZBrush is so absurdly powerful. I paid for ZBrush and I have no regrets about it, but anywho, yeah.